What's up, everybody? Going live today to have a quick chat about what went on with the CCIE journey because I don't have a huge update. I'm in another situation again where I can't talk about what it is that I'm working on, but this time it's not going to take as long to reveal what's going on. But here's the thing. This week I found myself in a real crunch, in a real effort talking about thinking about working through labs. This was a big lab work, hands-on type week, trying to get down into the nitty-gritty and figure out how does this stuff really work? Can I throw scenarios at myself that are challenging that I've never done before? So what ended up happening is, a few hours into it, I threw some stuff at me that was hard, and it wore me out. My brain just started, I'm not going to say my brain gave out or something, but I just was overlooking obvious solutions, and it got hard. Things that normally would have come to me instantly stopped coming to me instantly, and I started trying to force things to work that weren't working, and it was tricky. So what my takeaway from this week is when you're in this exam and you're in hour 3 or hour 5, it's very possible that your brain is just going to be like, and all of a sudden, things that should have come to you quickly or should have come to you naturally or easily won't because you're tired. So this is, people talk about this, but not as much as they talk about the other stuff. The thing that we should talk about right now, you got to prepare for it. You need to spend the time in the lab and not just a half an hour here or like an hour here. I mean, obviously you do what you can. But when it comes close to time to take the exam, you need to block out a 5-hour time to work through something hard or a lot of things that are hard and see what happens to you in hour 3 or 4. Because there's also this mental stamina that you're going to have to build up before you start making mistakes, which is absolutely what I did. So this is kind of a new thing for me as I'm shifting gears now, and I feel like at this point of my journey, like I'm technically ready. Like if I were to take each of these exam blueprints on their own or the bullet points on their own, I could probably take the exam. But now cumulative is, if I look at the whole thing and I sit down to take a 5-hour exam right now, I'm now concerned that in hour 3 I'm going to start going like, and all of a sudden, I'm going to make bonehead mistakes that should have been obvious, because that's absolutely what just happened to me, especially yesterday. I've got to go back and redo some of the work that I did this week, because now I'm sitting here thinking, all the best ideas come to you in the shower, right? So I'm sitting here in the shower and I'm going like, oh, you know what? I should have done it this way, and that would have saved me 2 hours of time, and it'd have been so easy and clean, and it's a great solution. So if you're curious about what one of the things that stumped me is, I just tweeted about it at data_Knox. And it's the gist of it is I had EIGRP. I have got 2 VRFs. Each VRF is running EIGRP. And I needed to redistribute from one EIGRP instance in this VRF to the EIGRP instance in this VRF. And to do that, you have to send it into multi-protocol BGP, tagged with route distinguishers and route targets, leak the route targets to each other, then redistribute back into the other VRF. And that works-ish. It doesn't work with EIGRP external routes. That's what I learned. Or I could have just created a different EIGRP process and redistributed between those and not use VRFs or BGP at all. That's what I'm talking about. Like, after a few hours, like the solution is actually pretty obvious, but after a few hours you're like, oh man, this is, I don't know, let's just make a VRF to segment the traffic, and that way I can just use one EIGRP instance and just specify the VRF in name mode. Whereas, see what I mean? Like, I got to get better at this. I got to build up that mental stamina so that I don't have these problems when it comes exam time, because I know it all. Like, I know all these things. I know it all, but putting it all together in a random, like, you could get hit with an OSPF question, then an EIGRP question, then a multicast question, then an SD-WAN question. You got to be able to bounce, but you got to be nimble. You got to be agile. So this was just going to be a short little 5-minute video talking about what happened this week. This week was hands-on. Work-wise, I am preparing for the score recording. Score and DevCore kicked off. So I'm going to be doing some score content and some DevCore content. Otherwise, basically, it looks like at CBT Nuggets, we're going to tackle every core exam, which I think is really cool. And, it spreads our skill set around a little bit, too. So, yeah, work-wise, that's what happened there. I'll probably start recording score middle of next week. Other things that are happening are big. Can't talk about it, like I said. Going to talk about it very soon. Also, approaching the 10K subscriber mark. Thank you all so much for that. Going to do a big 10K giveaway. Going to be big and awesome. So anyways, that's been a short update from me. Yeah, cool. Have fun. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you all next week. Be good to each other. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.